these lows with the tech. I go in back of the they all from that. My diamonds, they all look at this, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the beam in the flex. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk to chat. They step on the rock, don't man. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the Jordan, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I got my...
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Brooklyn Bulls and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Brooklyn Bulls and the Buffalo Bills.
Come on now, let's go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Myles Garrett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, it's Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Hunt. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Detroit!
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Allen got a man that's lost, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Lutz now to kick this one away. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves him with 3rd and still 9 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you've got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Go. 180!
Wentz now to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. Shotgun now for Wentz. He is going to find Hill here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down. That sets up a first and goal. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. Wentz going to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Wentz now on third and goal. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. Third and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, in this case, just a little bit too much.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Yeah, this place has notoriously never been kind to visiting field goal kickers. You get those winds that really whip through the inner bowl, not to mention the urban legends about stadium workers opening and closing the tunnel doors. But for whatever reason, this one winds up off target. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Allen now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. But only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Wentz now on 1st down. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. There he goes, right side. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. So he got 3 at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The return man is Graham. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And now they'll throw with Allen. Forced out to his left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Detroit! They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Here we go.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Detroit!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Throwing now is Allen. Going deep downfield for Roll. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Detroit!
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And this offense continues to pour it on. NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And partner, did you hear there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over.
4 down. Go. 180.
Check, 55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll go screen here to Hunt. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Now they'll run it on the toss. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. There he goes again. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown. A big play there. 65 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Wentz now on 1st down. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Again, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole... points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fights him off. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Now that's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.